We made it again. Okay, you guys, who else is in a funk? I don't know about you, but I woke up in a funk. A funky kind of funk where it's like my clothes just don't fit right, my hair's not doing what I want it to do, my smile's like crooked. I'm like, what is going on? You know what I mean? So Mercury has gone retrograde. Whee! It's the last one of 2018. So quite exciting. Yes, hello Miss Cat. Welcome. So Transformational Tuesday, here we are every single week. For those of you who don't know me, I am psychic medium Samantha Faye. I pretty much live for Tuesdays at 9 a.m. I pretty much just wait all week to come back here and connect with you guys. So much is happening. I thought that I would just kind of share in a little snippet for you guys of what this growth process is like. Now, if you're watching this and you've tuned in a few times, you probably, chances are, you have a personal growth process for yourself. Now, for me, one way that I know that I am like right in the middle of a growth period is what I call them, is literally when you're trying to get dressed and nothing feels right. I'm not talking about weight-wise and your clothes aren't fitting. I'm talking about like you put something on, you're like, not this. You put something on, not this. You put something on, not this. Then you put something else on and you're like, nothing is working. It's like that. But then also you can't figure out what you want to eat. You can't figure out this. You can't figure out that, any of the other things. That for me, when that is happening, that's when I know I am super deep in a growth period or a growth cycle. It is telltale. That is one of the things that has never changed for me from the beginning of my process and my growth in taking my first meditation class and diving into it. So a lot of these symptoms, a lot of these things that happen can be super funny when you're realizing that growth is happening. So another thing that happens that I wanted to explain also is that it doesn't have to be that like chaos is happening in your life, right? Sometimes we grow through pain, sometimes we grow through, something else that happens. Or something triggers a growth cycle, or something like we have to go within and we have to process and we have to do this. That doesn't always have to happen. That doesn't always trigger a growth cycle or a growth period. Now, like for me right now in my life, I have so many things going on, almost to the point where I can't do anything. I have so many, it's more like so many moving pieces are happening that I get into the state of like, I need to just sit. I really need to just sit. The most valuable thing I can do is to just simply sit. So when that happens, recognize and know that it is so okay to rest. We live in a culture and a society where like hustle and working yourself to the bone is like, woo! People are like, oh my God, you're a hustler. It's so cool. You're like busy all the time and you're working yourself to death and you have no social life. Woo! Like, why are we celebrating that? Just saying. Like, we are here to live an experience in life, right? So as your growth processes are happening, let yourself rest. Let yourself rest. When you have the energy to go for the sprint, when you have the energy to like, boom, hit it home. When you have the energy to do what you're doing and like really drive it home, go for it. Take it to that level and let yourself experience what you, like the energy that you've been resting and holding on to that's going to give you the permission that you need from your own internal self to be able to really go for it. So to that, what I'm saying is that when you feel like you need to rest, let yourself rest. Be aware and pay attention to your diet too. That's the other thing that's coming through, is be aware and pay attention. Are you eating too much sugar? Are you not eating enough fruits and vegetables? Are you loading on carbs and coffee and then having crashes and that's why you feel like you're really tired? Because feeling like you're really tired is different than feeling like rest is in order. There is a difference between those, so be aware and pay attention to your diet and listen to your body, what your body needs. All right, so let's go ahead and just start with the prayer. I've already just kind of set the prayer into these cards as I've been shuffling and as I've been chit-chatting, that the cards that we are looking for, the cards that are meant for each and every one of us, come through. So have quite a few. We have 2 already. So let's go ahead and start with a prayer as we call in divine truth and love into the sacred space. We invoke the highest possible healing for each and every transformational Tuesdayer and myself. We ask for the courage and compassion to speak and to hear from the purest form of self-love and forgiveness to all involved. Woo! All right, my dear friends, there is something else that I want to celebrate with you that I would not be able to do if it was not for all of you being in my life. Woo! So many woos today. It's so funny. So we all know that with Facebook's new algorithm, when we share things, especially videos, they don't really get spread out or seen as much as they used to, right? Facebook has gotten way more picky with how they are sharing information, even if you choose to share it. Well, with all that said and done, my Transformational Tuesday reach is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The views, the comments, the engagement. To me, it is so freaking exciting because I pour so much of myself and my energy into what it is that I'm doing, and I believe so much in myself that to be able to share this with you, one, is a gift. Just that in and of itself is a gift for me and to me. And so I can't even thank you enough for all the comments, all the shares, all the engagements, bringing it into your world, bringing it into your life. Your support means so much to me. You guys have no idea. It is not exactly an easy thing to pull this off every Tuesday morning, and to connect and to be willing to be seen and to want to do this. I've had a few of my clients that are like, how do you do it when you're in a funk? How do you do it when you just don't want to get out of bed? Well, you just kind of do it. And for me to know that you are here too really means it makes the biggest difference in the world. So thank you. Thank you for celebrating that with me. Thank you for keeping me going. Thank you for all of it. Truly, madly, deeply. All right, so let's see what the cards have in store for us. I feel like I'm going to be pulling a little bit more than 3, so we might not do a review. We might just go through and then see what comes up. All right, so, love this. Take the lead. And I've had these decks for a while, or this particular deck for a while. I've never seen this card. So taking the lead. This goes right hand in hand with the last few Transformational Tuesdays about making a decision. Now you've made the decision, right? Have you made the decision? You've made the decision. Now you're ready to step forward, and now you're ready to keep going. Now you're ready to keep going, and this is where you put on this, take the lead. Let's go ahead and let's say you put on the CEO cap. Maybe you're not really in business. Maybe you're not even in your business. Maybe you are. It doesn't really matter. But for you, taking the lead is going to be where you put everything else aside and you give yourself, numero uno, full permission to use everything that you have already gathered and gained from this lifetime. You don't need to listen to another podcast. You don't need to hire a coach. You don't need to read another book. You don't need to do anything more, my sweet dear sunshine. You have everything you need to make this next step of your evolution happen with grace, with ease, with beauty, with full surrender into the role of service. That is my biggest secret that I share with everybody, is that when you are in the role of service, when you commit to, thank you, higher power, however you see that energy, God, universe, source, creator, use me as a channel and a vessel to be in the highest role of service, that I may use myself to be in your grace, whatever it is, whatever your prayer is, whatever denomination, whatever that is. I personally connect with my higher self and the power of all that is, the oneness, the creator, that is the originator of this. Do I have all the answers for that? No, I really don't, and I'm not here to claim that I do. All I know is that it makes me feel really warm and fuzzy inside when I pray like that, so I do it. Taking the lead for you is about trusting yourself first. It is about trusting yourself and moving through the noise of anything that you've been told about yourself that is not you. Any self-doubt, any fear, any other things that you have is not you. You are the one that knows that you are capable. You are the one that knows why you're here in the body. You are the one that knows how to do it and how to get there. All of the other stuff is all noise. It all just gets in the way. So for you, this is about taking the lead and ultimately trusting yourself to know that you will know exactly what decision to make in every next step. Because ultimately, anything that requires momentum is just a series of tasks and decisions. So instead of like looking at this huge, big, giant, major picture and allowing that to shut you down, go ahead and take a look at what is the next right step. And then when you get to the next decision, make the next right step. And then when you get to the next decision, make the next right step. Here's the secret. Every single choice point that you come to, every single fork in the road, whether it's a big one or a little bitty one, you get to the point where you are able to see that your decisions either bring you closer into alignment with your divine purpose and your divine self, or they bring you further away. It's really that simple. You choose to either stay in more divine alignment or you choose to step away from more divine alignment. So what is your choice? You get to take the lead on that. It's very simple. It is very simple. If you just break it down to bite-sized chunks, very simple. Share the love. Apparently I'm singing opera today. Okay, so sharing the love for you. I actually have a sign in my home that I had custom made that says, appreciate the love that you share. Rather than appreciating the love that you receive, obviously it's important to have balance in this, but appreciate the love that you share. What if you were able to share love, to share your compassion, to share your heart, to share your expression of love freely, recognizing and knowing that there is no limit. There's no limit. There's not one little limit on anything. You get to share the love. You get to share all of it. You know why? Because your love does not have a cap on it. Your love is infinite. Completely, truly, madly, deeply, boundaryless, unconditional, and infinite. We get trained that we have to put love in a box. I love you like my sister. I love you like my brother. I love you like my mom. I love you like my best friend. Damn, I'm in love with you. Whatever it is, right? We have to be like, we compartmentalize our love. Love is not to be compartmentalized. Love is love. Love is love. There's no differentiation between what is the vibration and the energy of love. This is the infinite connection to source, creator, the oneness of all that is. Do you know that right now I am fully connected to you? Because I'm sitting in this chair, and this chair is sitting on the floor, and the floor is connected to the building, and the building is connected to the streets, and the street is connected to Mama Gaia, and Mama Gaia is connected to wherever you are. So technically, there is a line of energy that right now is just connecting me with you. Whoa, right? Infinite connections. We are not separate. We have these human forms that make it feel like we are, and that's beautiful and that's wonderful because we get to see different expressions of ourselves revealed. But the truth is, we are not separate from each other. So when you're sharing the love with another person, you are healing that part of you that is ready and willing and craving that same kind of love. When you are sharing love, you are also receiving love simultaneously. It's really a beautiful thing. So allowing your heart to be open, allowing yourself to share, especially as you're taking the lead and making those decisions. If your heart is closed when you're making these decisions about whether you want to be in alignment with your divine self, your divine purpose, something that's going to bring you ultimate fulfillment, or instant and temporary satisfaction or gratification, you get to choose. What is your long-term goal? What is your long-term game for you? This isn't about anybody else. It's you. All right, and flow. Love this. Who here knows and can experience and say that you know what it's like to be in your state of flow? There's all sorts of different flow states, right? They talk about athletes being in a flow state. They talk about dancers, musicians, writers, runners, whatever it be. It's that state of flow when things are just moving. And guess what's not really activated? Your mind. Your mind takes a back seat. Your mind relaxes. Your mind settles down, right? So what is your state of flow? Share with me, what is your state of flow and how do you get in it? For me, my number one favorite is dancing. I love dancing. Dancing is my therapy. Dancing makes my heart beat. Dancing makes my soul brighter. Dancing is, for me, a form of communication that when you meet people on the dance floor, it's a whole different kind of connection. Whole different kind of connection, which is why I love silent disco so much. For those of you that don't know, silent disco is where you put the headphones on and everybody's listening to the same channel. So if you don't have the headphones on, it's basically just like completely silent and everybody is just like getting after it, breaking it down. I personally love silent disco because there is no form of verbal communication. You are in an instant flow state, and when you're in an instant flow state with other people, you get to learn who they are through complete body language, which breaks down so many forms of judgments or ideas or, how do we want to be friends with them? Whatever it is that gets in the way of being able to really, truly connect with another human being in that way, it's a beautiful thing. So flow, what is your flow state? And is it possible for you to be able to give yourself permission to get into a flow state at least once a day? At least once a day. Once a day. Your life, I guarantee you this, your life will completely change. Because what happens when you're in a flow state is that you connect with that oneness, that interconnectedness that bonds you with all of humanity. Because your mind is the only thing that's creating these separations. Your mind and the attachment to the pain that's happened in your heart. So when you have the pain that's happened in your heart, it creates walls. We all know about these walls, right? It creates guards. I once was dating a lyricist, and he told me that I had a poisonous moat around my heart. Ouch. And I would have to agree with him completely. There was a stage in my life where I was drinking a hell of a lot of whiskey. I was wearing a hell of a lot of heavy dark eyeliner. I was smoking a hell of a lot of cigarettes, and I was angry. Super angry because I had an extraordinary amount of pain. So much fucked up pain built up in my heart that I was choosing to completely numb. Completely numb. So again, please trust me when I say that I know the way out of the density and the darkness that is self-deprecation, that is self-loathing, that is depression, that is complete lack of self-respect. All of these things that keep us out of alignment with our highest self. And it doesn't have to be these like major things, right? What I just explained were some pretty extreme examples of how I was not connected with myself. But I'm very aware of these walls and how we build up and why we build up this state of protection with the illusion that we are keeping ourselves safe because we are keeping people out. That's not the ticket, my friend. It's not the ticket. Because what's happening when you are keeping people out is that you are keeping yourself closed off into your own isolation den of suffering. Now, you might be hunky-dory and happy-go-lucky on the outside, and you're like, the more the merrier, I've got all sorts of friends, la, la, la. But tell me that people with all sorts of friends and all sorts of money and all sorts of da-da-da-da-da don't still commit suicide because they're depressed. It has nothing to do with what's going on the outside. It has everything to do with what's going on internally, inside of yourself. So what breaks you out of that? Being in a state of flow. Allowing yourself to open your heart, even if it's just to you. Even if and only if it is just for you and to you. But the bottom line about healing is that it is there so that you can get to know yourself on a much, 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 much deeper level. Healing is not a journey that somebody embarks on for other people. This is why you cannot change somebody else. They must be willing and able to dive into it for them. It is your choice, right? You're taking the lead. You're breaking down the walls inside of your heart that say you're not good enough or somebody else isn't good enough or whatever sort of thing isn't measuring up to get over your walls. It is up to you to break them down from the inside out, my sweet and dear loving friend. It is so worth it. I have never been more single in my life, and I have never been more in love with the world, with the light. And even this morning, I woke up in a funk. I didn't wake up with that like, the birds are chirping outside, right? Snow White has like her laundry being done by like the Blue Jays, whatever it is. Like that did not happen. But does that change the state of love that I have for myself and for the world? No. It might put a little like hint of gray on it, but we can just like rub that off with some music. It's very, very simple to let that go. But my point for you is that it's up to you. You got to get yourself out of it by stepping into a state of flow. Dive into that. Dive into that. Okay, one more, and then we're going to pop off here. Ooh, joy and stability. I love that this card also comes in at the number 4. 4 is balance. You have this square, right? A square has 4 corners. Balance, joy, and stability. Wherever you are feeling unstable in your life, whether it be in your own emotional attachment to yourself or something else, whether it be like a job that you lost that you're still holding a grudge towards, whether it be a relationship that was lost that you're still holding a grudge toward, you still have a cord of attachment to, whatever it be, find out where you have an imbalance in your own stability and just start bringing light to it. Be in your meditation state, and when you're in your meditation state, let yourself bring that light, bring that sunshine to that role, and it will create and it will invoke a greater level of joy for yourself. Really and truly, it's a beautiful thing when you can start to invoke joy consciously at any moment, but it really does create a new sense of stability in your ability to trust yourself and know that no matter what happens, that you're unbreakable, that you're untouchable, that you can stay in that state of joy, that you can stay in that state of self-expression, that you can stay in that state of beauty, wonderment, grace, all of the above. That's just so good. So good. So for yourself, for this week, as you're going through it, and let's not forget that like Thanksgiving is right around the corner. I don't know about you guys, but Thanksgiving can sometimes be a very touchy subject for me. I lovingly call my family the F word, and I do love my family dearly. I love them all the way. Sometimes, because we are so intimately close with each other, it creates some riffles. And I know I'm not the only one, so I'm really not afraid to share this. But sometimes for me, the holidays bring up a tinge of anxiety. Or, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Because I have been hurt very deeply on the holidays. So it's like that remembrance of, oh my gosh, that could happen again. Okay, but that's not where we're at. Joy and stability. Call on joy and stability. Think of this card, even just envision this beautiful combination of colors in this image, that if you are in a state where Thanksgiving is bringing something up for you, allow yourself to dive into that trigger, say hello to that trigger, bring in, invoke the light of joy and stability into that, offer gratitude and thanks that it's coming up, because once you release that trigger, you release that trigger for good. It does not come back. So the holidays are honestly the best time for you to dig in and do some really deep-rooted healing, because for most of us, our core wounds come from our immediate and even secondary family members. So use this as an opportunity to really dig in and do some healing for yourself and let shit go. For once and for all and for good, for the good of everybody, let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it out. Whatever it is that needs to become out of you, let it out. Sometimes I've noticed that feeling of letting it go can sometimes come with like a little side dish of shame. You're like, I can't let it go. And then it gets so bad that you're like, what's wrong with me? I just can't let it go. And then it like reinforces that you're like gripping onto something that's super not good for you, but just emotionally, you're like, I don't know why I can't let go of this cord or this thing, or why I want to go back into a harmful relationship or whatever it is. Just let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Let it out. That meaning that you don't have to put so much pressure on yourself to let the entire kit and caboodle go, but that you can just breathe and let it out. And as you breathe and let it out, and as you breathe and let it out, and as you breathe and let it out, more and more is released with every breath. And with that, you deserve your own freedom from whatever pain and suffering that you are holding on to inside of your heart. Forgiveness is an agent of change, and it will change your heart, I promise. Bring in the agent of forgiveness, bring in the agent of clearing, bring in the agent of celebration, and you will truly set yourself free. All right, my sweet and dear friends, thank you so much for spending this time with me. It has been an absolute joy and absolute honor to be with you, to share this time. Like I said at the beginning, I could not be more deeply honored, and thank you for showing up so that I could show up for myself as well. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Robin. Thank you, Art. Thank you, everyone who's engaging. Miss Kayla, Ivanka, all of the above. Jen, hello. Definitely, please share this with your friends, families, loved ones, whoever it is that you feel compelled to share with. As I mentioned, Facebook algorithms got nothing on us, right? We can share the message of light, love, freedom, compassion to all those that matter and all those who don't. Just kidding, everybody matters. All right, my sweet friends, keep an eye out for a Black Friday special. Yep, I play in those games. So Black Friday, I'm gonna have a deal out there for you to be able to join the new programs before, like I said, rebranding is launching first week of December if all goes well. Sometimes there are some technological hiccups that keep us back a little bit, but so far we are on track for that first week of December launch of the new rebrand. So really, really excited. I cannot wait to share the new news, the new guidance with you in that way. And I really do truly, I'm sending from the depths of my soul gratitude and appreciation, love, happiness, joy, and stability to your holiday weekend. May it be blessed, and may every tinge of sadness that you feel be transmuted into light, into love, into unconditional celebration and joy, that you are in fact in a human body, and that in and of itself is one of the greatest gifts that we can experience here on this planet. So thank you for being human with me. Thank you for loving in this journey, and thank you for making it worth it. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I am oh so thankful for everything that you have brought to me in my world and in my life. Cheers, my friend. We'll talk soon.